All right. Hey, seventh grade. Welcome back. Going to jump into problem 3.3 today about writing equations. Hopefully, you've been able to look at the videos for problem 3.2, understanding the pouches and coins concept. But we're going to take those pouches and coins and turn them into actual equations with numbers and variables and things like that today. So hopefully, it'll make some sense. We're going to also go over it in the Google Meet and make sure we're all clear. All right, here we go. All right, so to start, this is a situation that we actually saw in problem 3.2, where we saw a pouch, and 4 loose coins is equal to this 12 over here. So today we're going to take a look at how we can structure this image, or this picture, in this equational format. So remember, the pouches represent unknowns, things we don't know. So you can see where the 2x, or the 2 unknown, comes in. The 4 loose coins will be represented by the 4, and the 12 loose coins over here will be represented by the 12. You could also see in that problem mentioned where we talked about Nicole's method, how you can see that if she ended up dividing both parts here by 2, we have that situation where we went from the expanded form to factored form. Dividing this by 2 leaves us with the x. Dividing this by 2 leaves us with the 2, and that 2 would be multiplied through. So I want to make sure we really understand that these two are the exact same equation, just in different formats. These here are what we call equivalent expressions, and basically 2 or more equal expressions that are equal to each other. So in that case, we show that these guys are equal. And so we'll spend some time talking about this as we work through things today. So for today, you need to make sure you have, excuse me, have the understanding of what we're doing. We have these situations. Again, we have more pouches and coins. We're going to talk about our steps, and then we're going to look at trying to set it up as an equation as well. And so what I have here today is a worksheet that hopefully you guys would all get as well. But you can see that what we'll do here is we're going to have each of those situations talk about the solutions using the equations, and then checking our answers. So we can work through this and write all this out. So they asked us to understand that we're going to record our answers in a table like this. In the second column, use your method from problem 3.2. So it's what we just did by crossing things out and figuring things out. And in the third column, we're going to write an equation that represents the situation. Use x to represent the number of gold coins in a pouch. Use the number of 1 to represent each coin. Then use your equation to find the number of coins in each pouch, and we're going to check our answer. All right, here we are. Question number 1. So we've got 4 pouches, 2 coins, and we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to be 18 coins over here. So in this case, what we did is we crossed out 2 here and 2 here. So we would be left with 4 pouches is equal to, we said that was going to be 16, right? And then we realized that our next step was that we would end up doing 16 divided by 4. And we can see that would be 4. And just to illustrate that completely, let's make sure that we're clear. So we're saying that each pouch can have 4. So let's just test that out. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. So what we're saying is the solution right over here, using pouches and coins, is 1 pouch equals 4 coins. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch this up a little bit. We're going to take a look at how we can write this as an equation. So now I'm going to come back over here with my notes. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see it. So if I'm here on A1 and I need to change this 4 pouches into a situation where we have the variable with that. So it says there, x is going to equal the number of gold coins in each pouch. Okay, so first of all, I've got 4 pouches. So I have my 4 pouches, and I don't know what's in there, so I'm going to put in x. So it's going to be multiplied, so 4 times that number of coins. And I have a plus 2 here. And then I have equals 18. Okay, so that is the new equation structure. Now, in this moment, we're going to do the exact same work that we just did. If you recall, our very first step was we subtracted 2 from both sides. So I'm going to show that step here. So if I do my minus 2 here and minus 2 here, 2 minus 2 is going to be 0. So we're going to cross that out the exact same way we did here. 18 minus 2 is going to be 16. And I bring the rest down. So if you recall, this is the exact same step we just had. Remember, 4 pouches equals 16 coins. And then we did 16 divided by 4. What we do is we would divide that on both sides. So divide by 4 here, divide by 4 here. This ends up being basically a big 1x, and then we're left with 16 divided by 4 is 4. And that's what we get, so that value. So in this case, if I use the solution solving equations, we got that x equals 4. So now we want to check our answer. So let's go back and actually check this here. So I'm going to put 4 back in here for all of these. So in this case, what I got to do is I'm going to put there's going to be 4 each of these. So I've got 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here, which is going to be 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 4 is 16, 17, 18. That's 18. And remember, we said that this was 18 to begin with. So that checks. That way works just fine. So now let's come back to our notes, though. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this 4 in there and rewrite this. So I'm going to have 4 times 4. See that? I put this 4 right in there. And then plus 2 equals 18. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 equals 18. And there it is. 18 equals 18. This checks as well. All right, here we go. Number 2. So I've got a series of pouches and coins kind of mixed in there. And then we're going to be looking at all of that is going to be, so 3 pouches and then 6 coins. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be 12 over here. Okay, so my first move is going to be to start removing coins, right? So in this case, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins gone there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins gone there. So now I'm left with 3 pouches equals 6 coins. And if you recall what we did to figure that last part out, how many are going to be inside there, we did 6 divided by 3, which would give us, let's find out what that would be. So if I have here 6 divided by 3 is 2. So let's make sure. So if I'm going to have those 3 groups, so there's 1, 2, 3 groups. Yep, so you can see there's going to be 3 groups, 6 coins that way. So we're going to know that our 1 pouch equals 2 coins in that case. So let's look at how we can write this one out like we did last time. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna see here, I've got my 3 pouches. So that's gonna be 3x. I've got 6 coins loose, so plus 6. And then I've got 12 coins. So if you recall, this is the exact same process we had before. So if you see the very first step that we did, remember, our first step was we began to move those 6 coins out of there. So I'm going to do minus 6 here and minus 6 here. We do that from both sides. So then I'm going to do this is going to end up being gone, just like we saw in the image. I'm going to bring down my 3x equals, and then 12 minus 6 is going to be 6. Just like we did here, we did dividing. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So I will divide both sides by 3. This becomes a 1x, and I'm left with 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. So our solution over here was x equals 2. So let's check our answers. Okay, so let's put 2 in here for this guy. So I'm going to put 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This side is 12. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That equals 12. That checks. And look at this one. So this time we're going to put that 2 inside there for that x. So we do 3 times 2 plus 6 equals 12. So 6 plus 6 equals 12, and 12 equals 12. That checks. So when we check our answer, done. All right, number 3. This time we've got pouches and coins on both sides. So how about we look at one thing here. First of all, I know I've got more pouches over here and more coins over here. We want to make sure we recognize that when we look at that in our next step. So we've been working with coins first. So I've got 1, 2, 3 pouches, 3 coins, 2 pouches, and what looks like 9 coins here. So how about this? Let's see, let's take away these 2 pouches and these 2 pouches. So that's done. Then we've got these 3 coins and these 3 coins. So we're left with 1 pouch equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins. That was pretty fast. So we're done because there's no division to do. So we have 1 pouch equals 6 coins. All right, so that's what that equation would look like in this case here. So remember, our pouches are going to be the x's. So if I'm going to have 3 of those x's, and how many loose coins? We got plus 3, equal sign, and then how many? We got 2 pouches here. And how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those coins. And that's what we have. All right. So if you recall our very first step, what did we do first here? We went back and we began to remove the pouches to get those out of the way. Now, which ones do we remove? Usually you remove the one that has the lower number, or the lower number period. So we'll talk about more of that as we go deeper here. But I'm going to take away this from over here. So we went minus 2x here and minus 2x here. Notice how we're doing on both sides of the equal sign, okay? This equal sign serves as like a barrier. We have to make sure we do this on opposite sides. But you can't lining up any differently there. It has to be on opposite sides. So this is going to be gone, like we saw. And then the 3x minus the 2x is going to be leaving us with a plain old 1x, okay, or x. I'm going to bring this down. Remember, we had this equals and then 9. Now, this is a little bit of an extra step, but it just helps us to see the process so we don't get confused in that. So our next step after that was we removed the coins from both sides. So I did minus 3 and minus 3. This is going to be gone. I'm going to have my 1 old x equals 6, and we were done. So in this case, we had x equals 6. Now let's check that to make sure we're correct. So if I put 6 in each of these coins, or these pouches, and 6 here as well. So it's going to be 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21 for this side. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That checks. All right, let's try this one over here. So now I'm going to put that 6 in for both parts. So I do 3 times 6 plus 3 is equal to 2 times 6 plus 9. Okay, so 3 times 6, 18 plus 3, that's going to be 21. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 9, that equals 21 as well. That checks.